The champagne flute shattered against the marble floor, a scream of glass that cut through the hum of applause like a blade through silk. My wife's voice followed, calm, cold, and catastrophic. "You were my backup plan, Daniel. I should have married him." If you're new here, subscribe, because stories like this one are real in ways you wouldn't believe. For a heartbeat, no one moved. The chandelier's crystals swayed above us, scattering light across frozen faces. My pulse hammered against my ribs, trying to keep up with the oxygen that suddenly wasn't there. 20 years of marriage, gone in 8 words. Her eyes widened, like she wanted to snatch them back from the air. But the damage was already done. The guests, friends, family, our children, stood in silence, their whispers brewing like distant thunder. My heart clenched and released in ragged spasms, cortisol flooding my bloodstream, my body trapped in fight or flight but unable to pick one. Who was him? The question ricocheted through my mind, hitting every fragile memory I'd built around her. Mark. Her ex. The one she'd once called a chapter closed. My throat tightened around a bitter laugh. A backup plan. I raised what was left of my glass. "To love," I said, my voice steady even as my hand trembled. "May it always tell the truth." The guests clapped, hesitant, confused. And I smiled that hollow smile people wear when their world collapses in public. At home, silence replaced the applause. The air itself seemed to hum with tension, the kind that lives between walls long after the shouting stops. Claire sat on the velvet sofa, the glow from the lamp catching her auburn hair, her wedding ring glinting like a lie. "I didn't mean it," she whispered. "It just came out wrong." "Then why say it?" My voice was low, measured, the kind of calm that precedes storms. Her fingers twisted the hem of her ivory dress. "It was nerves. The vows, the people watching. Mark was just a thought. I don't even know why I said his name. But she did." Her pupils dilated, her shoulders tensed, the micro-expressions of someone caught between guilt and panic. I'd seen it before, when she came home late, when she silenced her phone at 2 a.m., when she avoided eye contact and blamed exhaustion. That night I lay awake, dopamine drained, heart still racing from the cocktail of betrayal and disbelief. Every creak of the house sounded like a confession. By morning, she tried to pretend the fracture wasn't there. She brewed coffee, humming tunelessly, sliding a mug toward me with a shaky smile. "Let's forget last night," she said. But I couldn't. Something chemical had shifted in me, a new vigilance, an alertness that kept my amygdala burning. I started noticing things, her phone always face down, her scent changing, laughter that didn't reach her eyes. My mind became an investigator, my love an autopsy. Then came the text. "Miss you. Can we meet?" A simple message that detonated my last bit of denial. My hands trembled as adrenaline surged. I didn't confront her, not yet. I needed proof, the kind that left no room for manipulation or charm. I followed her one evening. The city glowed like liquid mercury in the rain. From my car, I saw her through the gallery window, laughing with him, Mark, her body angled toward him, their hands brushing like old instincts rediscovered. I didn't go in. I didn't scream. I just watched. The body's parasympathetic system shuts down when the soul understands what the brain refuses to. At home, I found her laptop open. Emails, coded, intimate. "Meet me at the loft." The loft. Our loft. The first place we'd lived after our wedding, the one filled with memories of joy and grief, the one she'd turned into a shrine for deceit. That night I stopped being a husband. I became a strategist. I planted a camera in the loft. A small, discreet eye that didn't blink. When I finally watched the footage, there they were, two bodies tangled in the wreckage of my past. Her laughter sliced through the static. His hands on her skin. I didn't break anything. Didn't yell. I just watched until the tears dried into salt. Then I planned. A week later, I invited Mark to dinner. Old friends catching up, I'd said. Claire froze, but she agreed, her voice barely steady. The table was perfect, candles flickering, a roast fragrant with rosemary, a performance staged down to the final breath. When he arrived, he smiled easily, like the kind of man who never feared consequences. We talked. Small things. Safe things. Then I turned the knife. Claire tells me you two were close, I said, my tone almost friendly. Her fork slipped. Mark glanced at her, uncertain. She also said you were her first choice, I added. I'm just curious, how's that feel, being the dream she settled for? The room stilled. The air crackled. Then I pressed play on my phone. Her laughter. His voice. Skin and sound and betrayal echoing through our dining room. Claire crumbled. Tears streaked down her face, hands trembling. I'm sorry, she sobbed. It was a mistake. I just wanted to feel something again. Then congratulations, I said quietly. You succeeded. Mark sat frozen, his confidence leaking out of him like air from a punctured tire. I stood. You can have each other. But you'll never have me again. I left the house, the scene of my own emotional death, without looking back. Outside, the night was cold, the stars dull. But beneath the ruin, something strange flickered, not peace, not joy, but a primitive clarity. My heart hurt, yes. But it beat clean. No more lies. No more pretending. Love had burned itself down to its core, and for the first time in years, I felt the oxygen rush back into my lungs.